I'm going to show you today how an experienced Australian boat manufacturer builds boats which are designed to perform and are designed to last. I've often said that in my opinion the products of the Australian marine industry are at least equal and in most cases superior to boats built anywhere else in the world. And perfect examples of this are the products of the Baysport company located at Noosaville in southeast Queensland. I recently had the opportunity to follow a Baysport through the manufacturing process and I was very impressed. I was impressed by the standard to which Glenn Grams and his experienced crew handle every aspect of the build, from the design of the boats to performance on the water. Now, this means that I can open the door to anybody who may be wishing to buy a boat so they can see what goes behind that shiny exterior. Recent advances in the design of fiberglass laminates have enabled manufacturers to take advantage of new reinforcing materials and resins to yield a hull which is far stronger and lighter than the old system. This means not only a much longer life in the rough and tumble of Australian conditions, but a faster build time means a lower price for the customer, and lighter weight means lower running costs, easier towing behind smaller cars, and lower horsepower requirements. The process involves the gel coat being applied to a wax mould. The first layers of chopped strand mat are sprayed in, and then the bottom has a layer of multi-directional non-woven fiberglass cloth laid in up to the chines and overlapping the keel and bow. This is enormously strong and rigid and saves a considerable amount of weight in the hull whilst increasing its strength. This is then coated with more chopped glass rovings and the laminate is rolled to remove all air bubbles and consolidate the laminate. Then the top sides are reinforced with a core material, more rovings, and the hull's ready for the planing strakes to be filled with a reinforcing compound and bonded over with mat, forming longitudinal structural members. Baysport use a fully moulded fiberglass underfloor stringer and cross member unit, sometimes called a chassis, bonded into the hull, which replaces the old timber method of using timber in that particular capacity, and it's now rigid and very strong, but that's not all. The stringer system is then blown with expanded polyurethane foam, adding positive buoyancy, very extreme rigidity, and completing a very strong and durable hull unit. The resin-coated floors are bonded and stapled down onto the stringer system, and they're bonded around the edges. The cabin bulkhead, side pockets, bunk base and other details are fitted. The interior is sanded smooth, flow-coated and speckled, and the hull is ready for the deck. The hull flange is loaded with a reinforced fiberglass joining compound. The deck is lowered into position and located, and the flange is clamped all around. Many manufacturers would leave it at that, but not Baysport. The hull and deck joint is further reinforced by bonding, making the boat a single structural unit. The boat's completed by the installation of gunnel rubber, windscreen, windows, fuel tanks, seats, upholstery, deck fittings and bow rail, then the outboard, electrical loom and controls, and they're ready for the water. Before we launch, there's an aspect to the hull design which I found very interesting. Many fast boats have a planing plank, which is a narrow flat panel at the bottom of the keel. This adds lift at high speed without affecting the ride, and it helps with economy. In the case of Baysport, this planing plank is concave, adding significantly to the ability of the boat to track straight at high speed. Now, what I've just shown you confirms that there are no secrets in Australian Baysports. Their quality is beyond doubt.